It was unexpectedly wonderful. So, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I am Nancy Nance. I am Exponential Joy. I am from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I had a very fun drive to the airport this morning. So, one of my sons was visiting, and it was time for him to fly back on a bird in the sky. So the beauty of the airlines, I love flying. I love how we can get from here to there in a lot faster amount of time than if we took the only option available, which is driving, right? Like if the only option available was driving, then travel would be really changed. And if you think back to horse and carriage and all of that um, transportation of the past, you see how life has changed. And it's beautiful to remember. It's beautiful to celebrate success. And if we stay in nostalgia for too long, ooh, danger, 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 danger. Back in the day, oh, the good old times. Yeah. Oh, I wish I could go back to the 80s. I can remember the 80s. I don't want to go back to the 80s before cell phones. I did enjoy the physical impact of slamming a phone, and then I learned how to take action. Because slamming a phone is passive aggressive, is it not? Where does that get you? It's where passive agreements will get you. And I've still got a few of those that I'm settling. So, what a passive aggressive agreement is something whereby you say, well, if you make your bed sometime today, that's okay. That's how you parent, perhaps, passive aggressively. And then the agreement is sometime today. Clear boundaries. Make the bed before you go to school. And if you do, you will get to school on time. And if you don't, well, you don't make it to school on time. And you will either have a victim response or a warrior response. A warrior will make their bed, get their ass going, boom, 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 on time, early to the airport. A victim will blame the alarm for not going off, blame the Uber driver for making them late, blame. So I want to go to understanding the importance of trust in relationships. Trust. And we learn to trust differently. So when I enter a relationship with anyone, it is a relationship based on trust right off the beginning. You do not have to earn my trust in the beginning. In the beginning, you have my trust. And if you break the agreement, if you dissolve the contract, then the trust agreement is gone and it has to be rebuilt. So trust are solid sets of statements with results. Again, if you get up early and make your bed, I will drive you to school. If you do not get up in a timely manner to make the bus, otherwise known as mom's van, then you'll stay home. I was a little bit more vocal, loud, barbarous. As a mom, I had 5 children to get to school. There wasn't time for BS. No time for BS. When agreements are broken, then there is, well, there's a consequence. Like I said, you missed the bus. So choose trustworthy people, and you have the choice of entering into an agreement quickly or slowly. And when it happens, it happens. You may enter in an agreement with a person that is a sly snake. You trust them because they tell a good story, And just like the serpent in the story of Adam and Eve, bam, you're trapped in a situation whereby you now have an opportunity to work your way out of it. So I love the saying, open up a can. Open up a can of what? Oh, I didn't mean to open up a can of worms. Okay. Cans of worms are for fishing, right? So if you open up a can of worms, you're opening up a can of opportunities to catch fish. If you look at it from perspective, open up a can of, ooh, worms are trouble. Careful. Well, it's all about perspective. So if I lend you money, you will pay me before the end of next week. If I lend you money and you do not pay me before the end of next week, interest will be charged. I charge interest. I've learned to charge interest. My mother charged me interest, therefore I charge interest because that's how she held me accountable. That's how I learned to finance and budget my money in a much more positive way. And I still have people that owe me money because of the agreements I made with people that were not trustworthy. So the most important agreement in all of this is the agreement between you and you. If somebody does not follow through with their part of the agreement, with their part of their bargain, I offer you the opportunity to open up a can of whoop ass. A can of whoop ass says the rules of the game, the rules of engagement have changed. I was listening to my coach this morning and he was talking about playing the game. And I prefer the understanding of the battlefield. There are beautiful, beautiful stories told of battlefields. You think of the battlefield with David and Goliath. You think of the battlefield of, oh my goodness, the beautiful yogic battlefield. I love all of that. Think of Gladiator. Gladiator comes out onto the field and he comes out in the field with the understanding that he will be fighting and at war. So is he at war with others or is he at war with himself? So the more that we figure out the inside understanding, the inside dialogue, what's going inside of us, the more we'll be able to move from victor to victory. I've learned that I will no longer, it is no longer possible for me to lend money to an addict. Even an addict who has gone through recovery without there being a solid legal agreement behind such agreement. And I have no problem going to small claims court. I have done that before. I have no problem speaking my truth. I've done that before. And then there's the consequence. And I don't do it with any malicious intention. I have open conversations, and sometimes those conversations lead to, oh my God, what? He owes you money? Yeah, he does. Well, let me see what I can do about that. Okay. I'm going to have a conversation. Agreements are conversations. Conversations are agreements. Agreements are conversations. Again, what matters most, the agreements and conversations you have with yourself. So I set deliberate intentions every single day as to what I am going to accomplish. Before I set those deliberate intentions, I have my meditation. I follow up and listened to the classes that I was unable to attend from the day before. Perhaps I listened to a podcast from somebody else. This morning, it was get to the airport on time. There is no time for all of this other, and that was okay. I had an agreement to get my son to the airport on time. See, the first agreement is with yourself. The second agreement is possibly with family, familia, the network of people who are in your structure, in your organization. We're entering into a contract with an employer based on part-time work. It was a position that was 1 day a week, and I was so excited because it would work perfect so that I could spend time with my mom. Then the agreement changed to 4 days a week, and the conversation wasn't clear, yet I agreed. So I agreed to the agreement. Therefore, it became a contract. Then that contract changed from 4 days a week to 5 days a week. Then from 5 days a week to 5 days plus overtime. Oh my God, what do you mean you can't work Saturday? And just by letting it slide, the rules of engagement were changed. My boundaries were non-existent. And in having non-existent boundaries, we create a problem. So going to the Soul's Journeys cards, these cards are just beautiful. And I want to draw one from that to see how Spirit's going to tune in to what it is. Honesty, right? Honesty. That is such a beautiful card. I can always expect the truth from others. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. So when you tell the truth, it's a matter as to how you deliver it. Are you going to deliver it kindly? Say what you mean what you say, don't say it mean. Will you deliver it more with more strength? Stay in that agreement with yourself. I am peace. If I am peace, then I can allow confrontation to still happen while remaining in my peace. I can listen and say no. I cannot enter into that agreement today because I am staying in a place of peace. Let's touch base tomorrow. Tomorrow I will come to terms with why I am angry. I am. It's okay to say I am angry about the situation. I am angry about the expectation, and I want to remain peaceful. So I'm going to discuss this with you tomorrow. Sometimes it's a repetitive language. I was in human resources. That's one of the things that I graduated from college with. So I was able to have that record player conversation. Yes, I understand. I also am unable to continue this conversation. I will table this discussion until tomorrow because right now I have another call. So thank you again, and we will talk next week. Have a great day. No need to hang up with aggression. This took time, ladies and gentlemen, to accomplish this set of standards for myself. So going on to Trust Your Vibes Oracle cards. The Trust Your Vibes Oracle cards are working with the sixth sense. The sixth sense is intuition. It is in addition to the other senses that you may be more aware of. So the other senses, the five senses, see, hear, taste, smell, and touch. So what this card is a breath. So is anybody here, say yes if you have, say no if you have not. If you're watching live, replay, the more you interact, the more I can interact after the podcast to discuss things with you if you want any more information. Sharing a breath. Breath work is beautiful. If you have ever done guided breath work, then you can understand how the breath can breathe you and you can breathe the breath, how to calm your mind. That is one way to share a breath. In sharing a breath, oh my goodness, beauty. So one of the best ways to open up positive communications, okay, because we do want positive communications and good vibrations with others, is to share a breath. Observe their breathing pattern and make it your own. Do this for 4 or 5 breaths, longer if possible. You can exchange this rapport by breathing deeply into your nose and exhaling slowly through your mouth. This is your muscles, relieves tensions, and opens your 5th chakra or communication center to a higher vibration. Sharing a breath is particularly effective when you feel anxious or are having difficulty understanding or agreeing with another. It's a powerful technique in diffusing conflicts because your spirits connect and establish a common vibration, making for harmony in thought and emotion. A shared breath is shared spirit and invites solutions, creativity, and cooperation to any situation. This is exactly what is needed right now. Interesting, isn't it? How the cards flow with the message. I do breath work every single morning in my meditative practice. I do breath work when I wash the dishes. It is part of my continual recovery to a higher vibrational state. And in continually recovering to a higher vibrational space, I'm always expanding. Sometimes that expansion requires much more rest. Like last night, I had to tune out and realize that I needed a full 8 hours of rest. I don't often rest that long. Sometimes it's physical discomfort. Sometimes it is a time schedule that requires me to connect with people that are in different time zones, many, many reasons. Yesterday, it was an agreement with myself. Now, what is most important is you and your relationship with you. Please rest. One more card pulling from the Getting into Your Vortex deck. Feeling negative emotions means I'm launching requests. This is very beautiful. As more people observe hardship and strife, a tense, resistant pose, and therefore disallow their own well being, others use them as their reason to do the same. And in a very short time, a very negative pattern of resistance can sweep through your population. The good news in this scenario is that in every moment, the person is feeling negative emotion about the economic state. Vibrational requests for more abundance are launched, and those requests are heard clearly and responded to immediately by source. So, when thinking about your finances, in thinking about your any situation, finances are one reflection of energy. Remember, time is another reflection of energy. Opportunity is another reflection of energy. I want you to clearly understand that you are an energetic being who is creating through creator with creation. It's all about that. So, are you creating relationships that will expand your financial abundance? Are you talking with people that speak about scarcity? Are you speaking about scarcity or are you speaking about abundance? Again, the most important relationship between you and you. Tune in and tap into you, and you'll hear what you're talking about most. Love you to the moon and back. I'm Nancy Nance. If you would be so kind as to mark down live replay, all that wonderful stuff, please share, please follow, please subscribe. I love you to the moon and back. Peace out. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good one.